Welcome back to the crazy. Okay, so today we are going to make one of my favorite things to make that's quick, fast, easy if you don't have much on time. And I didn't have very much time today because I had to take Sam to his therapy because Marcus is at work. So we needed to think of something quick, fast, and in a hurry to prepare for dinner and slash lunch for tomorrow. So I'm going to show you what I do, and you can try it too. You probably have all the ingredients in your kitchen right now, and if you like, well, I'm not going to spoil the element of surprise. You're just going to see what we're going to do. All right. Okay, so we are going to make a simple beans and rice dish. Very quick, very simple, but very flavorful. First thing you're going to need to do is heat up a pan with some oil. You can do about a tablespoon of oil. I never measure it out. That looks about right. I'm going to let that heat just a few minutes. And then we're going to add, actually you can add about as much as you want. You can add half an onion. You can add a whole onion. I like a lot of onion, so I added 2 pretty small to medium onions. They weren't really medium, but they were a little bit bigger than small. So I had 1 white and 1 red. Normally I would have taken a yellow onion, but I'm out of yellow onion, so I use 1 white, 1 red. And so now we're gonna add that in. Now just remember, everything I'm about to show you, this is for a quick and easy. This is not for the, oh, let me do everything myself. So I've got my onions chopped up in my handy dandy Tupperware onion chopper thingy. I have so many of these. Well, I don't have so many of these. I think I have like 3 or 4 of these. But I always go to this green one. I always pull this green one out. And this green one is all broken. It's very loved and used. So, onions are in. You're going to do about maybe 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. But if you're not a garlic lover, then, one of my lights was out. If you're not a garlic lover, then a little less. I like garlic, so. And yes, you saw that correctly. Already bottled squeezed garlic. Don't forget, this is a work night, a weeknight, and you're trying to do it fast. Okay. Then you're going to take your frozen cut up peppers and dump those in there. Weeknight. Save that chopping for the weekend. Okay, because this was frozen, I got to let it cook down, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Now we're going to add our seasoning, and what we have here is, I'm going to give you the base seasoning, and then you can do what you want to with it, because that's what I did. So the base seasoning, we have a teaspoon of cumin. We have a teaspoon of dried oregano. We have half and half of paprika. So you can do either 1 teaspoon of regular paprika, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I did half of each. So half regular paprika, half smoked paprika. And then I have some Southwest seasoning. I did a teaspoon of Southwest seasoning. And then I have some seasoning for if you were going to make like pulled pork or something. And I put that in there. You know, I just like stuff seasoned. So we're going to put that in there. And give that a whirl. Get it all mixed up. Okay, now that that is nice and coated, just let it cook for about a minute. Okay. All right. Now we're going to add a cup of rice. I'm using basmati rice, but I'm using a brown basmati rice. You can use white rice. You can actually use whatever long grain rice you want to use. I love basmati rice, whether it's white or brown. I try to do as much brown as I can, but every now and again I occasionally crave some of that white stuff. But yeah, so you're going to mix this in until you get all of your rice grains good and incorporated into the juices and the oils and the seasonings. Just mix that in a little bit. You're just basically eyeballing it for what you think. So let that just cook just for a minute. All right, so we've got this cooking just a little bit. Now we're going to add in a tablespoon of tomato paste. Just to give it, you know, it's not really going to have a tomato flavor. Teensy weensy, teensy, barely any. It's more for color. So give that a whirl. Get that mixed in there. And now we're going to add in a can of beans. You can do red kidney beans, black beans, pinto beans. I really enjoy pinto beans, so I'm going to use pinto beans. And now you want to add in at least 2 cups of vegetable broth. Now, because I'm using a brown basmati rice, I actually am going to put in a little bit of broth, a little bit of extra broth, because it takes longer to cook than white rice does. And now I'm going to let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to cut the heat down to a simmer and cover it and let it cook. Now, I will be coming back to check it periodically, because when my liquid is gone, probably most likely my rice will not be done, and I'm going to check it, and you can see from brown rice if it's done. If it's not done, it still looks like it's in its true original form. And if my liquid is all gone, then I'm going to add some more liquid and let it keep cooking until I feel like that natural rice is cooked. Again, because it takes longer to cook than the white rice. If you're using white rice, you probably won't have to do this extra step. You'll probably just be able to do your regular 2 cups and your dish will be done. Okay, so we're going to let this come to a boil. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to come to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and cover it up. You can wait till it comes to more of a rolling boil if you want. I see it's boiling, good enough for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and reduce my heat down to where it's just going to simmer. And then we'll come back. All right, we're going to look at the rice. And I'm going to show you what I mean by it needs to cook a little longer. So a lot of my liquid is gone, but my rice is not fluffy like I want it to be. So therefore, I'm going to add a little more liquid, because you can see the liquid has cooked down quite a bit, and I need this rice to be fluffier. So I added in more liquid, and we're going to let that continue to cook. All right, so my rice is just about where I want it to be, but it's still got a little bit of cooking to do. But I need to add the last piece. So I need just a little bit more vegetable in there. So I'm going to add just some frozen spinach to the top. You can actually do whatever vegetable you like. I just love spinach. I love spinach. I will take some spinach and cook it on the stove and season it, and then just mix it with some pasta. Love spinach. All right. So I'm going to do quite a bit of this because I likey. My freezer is buzzing because, yes, I did not close the door. Yes, I thought I would be done by now. Oh, come on. Okay, let me put the rest of this back in the freezer Okay, so the last, I have these, if you've never, if you've seen these on Facebook and you've been wondering, I'm here to tell you these things are good. So this one's a maple bacon. I didn't get the original bacon, but I'm going to maybe next time get the original bacon, but these are all vegan seasonings. So I'm going to add, whoops, just a little bit of that. Okay, that was a lot of that. And then I've got this, did I do ranch? I think I did. I can't remember what I did the last time, but I really like this ranch one. It's almost gone, as you can see. I need to place another order, and they take so long to get to me. But that was the ranch one. So I'll just do just a little bit. Gosh, I can't remember what all I did the last time. See, I never do this. People always say, write it down what you put in your stuff. Write it down. And I always forget. So I'm just going to stop there. And I'm going to just put a little bit of salt. Because there's no salt in here yet. Well, there is a little bit in the seasoning. But I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to put the top back on this and let that spinach cook just a bit, and we'll be back. All right, let's look and see what we got going on in here. My spinach is still a little bit frozen. My rice is starting to stick. That's no bueno. No bueno. So, it is just about to the consistency that I want. But what I'm going to do is, now that most of my liquids are gone, I'm going to let that get some more heat in it. And then I'm going to turn it off and let it sit here with the top on it and just let it, steam a little more. I don't know if I mentioned this when we started, that you would cook your dish maybe about 15-20 minutes. I don't really go by a guide. I just go by, if the liquid is gone and then how my rice looks. And that's what I go by. And if the rice has started to, get thicker. And so that's how I go by it. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off of it. And then just let it steam with the heat. Don't take your lid off. You want to keep all the heat in there. And then just let it steam for the final finish. It's the final. There is some beans in there. I just grabbed a little bit off the with some spinach, and there's some beans. And I'll do a taste test. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not on the camera. Well, it is pretty late now. I've had a shower. I'm in my PJs or my nightgown. And so you're just going to have to imagine that you see me taste testing. So there's the bite, and now let's go ahead and give that a taste. Yep, and it's delicious. Gonna have to get another bite. So I'm gonna let this cool down so that I can put it in the refrigerator, and then now I'll have lunch for tomorrow. It's so late, I'm not doing dinner tonight. Okay, so long farewell. Oh, hold on. Long farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Good night. See you tomorrow. Are we ready for our treats? You gotta sit down. You gotta sit down. Good job, Boogie. Okay, one for you. One for you. And one for the monster. Now, Boogie, you had enough treats at therapy today. You don't get any more.